You know, I really like.
Morning, everybody, and welcome to TeamODZ Live. And it's Friday! Yay! Morning, Rick. Morning, Uffe.
Woo.
Afternoon, Uffe.
Good morning.
Morning.
Right, sorry, Rick, I interrupted you then.
Well, you know, I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of Microsoft. Because I feel like anytime I'm on Microsoft, I have to do 10 things just to complete one task. Like, I just want to see what this special weather statement is. And now I've had to click 5 times, and I still don't know what it is. I just know it's a special weather statement. There we go. Oh, currently it's cold out. Okay. It's really cold.
And there's no kind of atmosphere. Red dwarf
Really cold, and things might freeze. They're not frozen yet. They will freeze soon. It happens more at work than here, but sometimes I'll get on Microsoft Edge and it does that whole I don't know what it is. Like it wants to teach me something every time about Microsoft Edge, and I'm like, no, I don't care. I didn't get on here to learn Microsoft Edge. I got on here to get on the internet.
Liking the stream, Tim?
Ah. Oh, thanks.
Welcome.
And a ride on to you too, sir.
Thank you much.
Today we're doing 30-minute blocks in zone 2. Yeah, so I started on Training Peaks, and now so far I have the ODZ ride and yesterday's workout in there. And whew, I can't look at it yet because according to Training Peaks, I'm overdoing it big time. My fatigue levels are way up.
Yeah, but you will need to seed it with your current CTL and stuff for that to work.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, this doesn't have enough information. I mean, I could only imagine if it got my workout that I had before ODZ.
Yeah, I don't know if Training Peaks, but I would think that it would be possible to seed it with the current stats, so that we get from there.
Yeah, pretty much at this point, I'm just looking at it just to get familiar with it, ignoring all the numbers, and maybe in like 2 weeks it'll have me figured out.
So on Wednesday, I redeemed 40,000 channel points for a year's membership to the Cracking Club, and messaged Justin to let him know, and he replied and said, "Oh wow, we haven't set the 2024 Cracking Club up yet. We can't give you a membership."
So I should wait a little while before I redeem my 40,000.
I would wait a little while, yeah. I'll let you know.
And it should, in theory, take 42 days to populate Training Peaks. It's a sort of a windowed function, so last days don't count so much, but it's a 6-week window to have the full picture.
All right. Wow. So February, I'll be good to go.
Yeah, unless
Thank
you're
you.
back, you should be able to dump your stuff from Strava into Training Peaks.
Oh, okay.
I assume.
Thank you for the ride on, Owen. Happy
Right on.
Friday, my friend.
Hey, Owen. Just move the fit files over.
Wouldn't surprise me if you couldn't.
Yeah, I think I saw something about being able to do that when I was connecting. But, I mean, I could plan for that one. In reality, am I going to do it? Probably not. Tomorrow I'm supposed to have the whole day. Heidi's going away. And Grace is gone in Atlantic City. So I'll just be at home, and I would have tons of time to do it. Do you think I will? I bet you I won't.
Going to be home alone.
Yeah.
Then you'll cook.
The idea is to rest my whole shoulder situation, but we'll see. I do want to do a nice long walk with my sand. So walking with my sand. Maybe get some rowing time in. Yesterday I had a big plan to, early in the day, it was high 30s, so I was feeling pretty nice. And I had a plan that night to come home. Heidi and I were going to go for a long walk. By the time I got out of work, it was the high teens and the wind was blowing. And I was tired. It's like, you know what? I don't think I want to go for that walk. I think I want to adjust to this new temperature for a little bit. Hate it when that happens. when the temperature drops in a couple hours like that.
What you got going on this weekend, Owen? And how are the legs after yesterday?
Yeah, that seemed like a pretty good race yesterday.
I was amazed at the difference that steering gave me on that ride. I was able to recover a lot deeper, a lot better in between pulls, and I was able to pull a lot harder on the front without dropping people.
So your teammates were on your wheel and then you just decided to go left, or what?
No, keep people in the draft. Me stay in the draft when I'm sitting in.
If I were you, Owen, I would take a big recovery day tomorrow and then join us for another century on Sunday.
Yeah, when he says his legs are heavy, he might have overdone it the last couple of weeks. You did really good yesterday. You did.
Yeah. I was watching the whole thing, but I was taking a mock test for the first part of it. But I had my phone up with Twitch next to me. I have to say, it didn't help me with the test at all.
Yeah, if what you did yesterday is an indication of you being having overdone it the last couple of weeks, then I would love to see what you could do rested.
Owen has to be at TTL 120 beginning of March, so I don't think we allow recovery days.
Yeah, I couldn't switch to fan view fast enough for him yesterday. You and Ian were that close behind us that by the time I'd found you in the companion app, you'd already crossed the line. And when I fan viewed you,
I did have my eye on the sidebar, and I did see you were pushing 8 watts a kilo there for a while at the finish.
Mm-hmm.
And then you maintained at 6 watts a kilo.
Yeah,
which that's giving it your all after all that effort.
Yes,
That's for sure.
Yeah, and it was keeping you with us if we hadn't have had 4 there. But certainly grateful for Ian being there to encourage and keep you going at the finish there. I think we were only like 20 seconds slower yesterday than we were back in August when we raced that route.
Nice.
So same ballpark. We had Hills and Megan with us on that ride.
Yeah, but different ride dynamics. So
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing how much of a carrot that is. Just having someone there just in front of you. Got to hold on to their wheel. Got to catch their wheel. Got to keep with them. There are so many times when I've had that on the CRL. You know, just coming over a climb.
Need that.
Just coming over a climb, for example, and I'm off the lead path, My legs are heavy and tired, but I've still got to carry on pushing just to catch back up. I can rest once I'm there. Yeah.
Wow. Looking forward to getting this cold all the way out of my system so that I can see my low heart rate numbers again.
Certainly be interesting to see what the team could do if we were all steering into the switchbacks on the S's and things.
Yeah.
Now, you know, in these morning rides, when we came down Sker, Rick and I were side by side at the top, but at the bottom, he was a minute behind me. It made that much difference.
Just a little sprint.
Yeah. Yeah, Katie raced last night as well. In her Leal team race. And I was giving her some encouragement on that. Good to watch that. They did well.
I do love when after a race, putting it all in, you know, having your whole halfway through point where you're like, I don't think I can do this. And then overcoming that. And then finally at the end being like, I don't think I'm going to be able to sprint. And then all of a sudden putting out high watts is the best feeling.
I was hitting a 180 heart rate on my poles, which I've never done before. Yeah, high 170s. Very close to 180, but I've not hit 180 on poles before. And I've never dipped down into the 150s sitting into rest. Both of those happened yesterday, so I was resting better sitting in, and I was pulling harder on the front. My total average for the ride was lower than usual. Yep, I heard you. I think the first time I ignored you and just encouraged you.
Yeah, I don't think I've had a single race where I don't hit that midpoint where I'm like just doubting whether or not if I can do it, and actually like thinking about a way that I can get out of the race without.
I've got a couple of points. I've got a couple of points on each every race that motivate me. 10 kilometers and 6 kilometers. 10 kilometers, yeah, I know I can continue at that point. And at 6 kilometers, yeah, I know I can finish this. And then every kilometer in from that point, you know, that light at the end of the tunnel is getting brighter and brighter.
The end is always good, yeah. The thing that always gets me though is when I look at, only 5 miles left. And then it takes a long time to still get through that 5 miles.
Yeah. And, you know, it's keeping the mind off of thinking how hard this really is. It really is a mind game.
Oh yeah. Heck, no matter what, the body always performs. I've only really had my body try to fail on me once at that Hincapie ride.
Yeah, I know I had the same on the CRL once. And that was on the London climbs. Can't remember what route it was now, Owen, can you? We had two climbs. First one was okay. I judged how it was going to go. Second one, I just completely misjudged it. And you got 20 seconds off at the top. Brett came back to help me back on as we were coming up to the top. I told him, no, go. Got a plan. And my plan didn't work. And if he'd have stayed back and pulled me on, or tried to pull me back on, then he wouldn't have finished as well as he did anyway. So my advice was
it's always
sound.
It's all those ups and downs and trying to like keep the communication between your body and your mind disrupted. That makes me absolutely love it at the end of a race, but dread it whenever it's time to do another one.
Yeah, so every CRL I was getting really apprehensive. Like, call it race nerves, call it whatever you want, but I rarely feel that for the TTT now. I did at first.
Every time I watch a race, though, I'm always like, man, I wish I was there.
Well, you are when you're in the stream chat, and I appreciate you being there. Yeah, everybody being there. That really helps as well, knowing that there's someone there watching and shouting at their computer monitors or phone screens.
Yeah. Yeah, this cold is still definitely holding me back, but I like the fact that I can still do work with the cold and it doesn't seem to be worsening it or anything. I'm progressing through it quickly.
Yeah, well, exercising will help clear your chest out, open the airways up, loosen stuff.
I sounded like a pirate when I first joined Discord this morning.
Oh, he did. I can confirm that. I think the first words out of my mouth were, wow, you sound rough.
I don't feel that rough, but now that I'm working, I just feel like my heart rate should be higher. And it is kind of higher than where I'd like it right now, but which now that I've cut out alcohol for this whole week, it's like I'm used to getting on about now and being like, oh wow, 10 BPM down just from cutting out some beers.
Look how low my heart rate is right now. It's two dashes.
Wow. I should try that. Then I won't have to look at it anymore.
Yeah, I'll put that.
It's not too bad. I mean,
I'll put it on in 8 minutes and 20 seconds.
137 at 180, but it's just not showing me the benefits of skipping the shift beers every day.
50 beers?
Oh, yes. Worst thing to do when you're cutting out alcohol is work at a brewery. It's a word of advice. Don't do it. Today, though, I made a request for our employee lunch. For one, because I don't want to go to a dine-in establishment because my extra spending money is a little low right now. But I recommended Sam's Club. We're going to Sam's Club because they have what we call the half-pound glizzies. We get the half-pound hot dogs for like $1.50. We're gonna be eating cheap. It's gonna be no alcohol. Should be good.
I've got a new favourite way of cooking beef burgers now.
Oh, yes, that's right. What
Pressure
kind of air
cooker.
fryer do you have?
I don't have an air fryer. I
Okay.
use a pressure cooker.
Oh, yeah, not air fryer. Sorry. But is it the, yeah, so it's just like mine, yeah, I'm guessing.
It's one you put on the stove.
Oh, one of those. Okay.
Put
So it's
plenty of
not
water.
like,
It's not an Instapot.
okay. But I'm sure it would work in mine too.
I've put plenty of water in the bottom. I'm going to stand the burgers off.
Oh,
Put 3 in at a time. Put the water boiling.
okay.
Wrap the burgers. Well, sprinkle them in with onion powder and salt. Wrap the burgers in foil. Put them in. Close the lid. Wait for the steam to start. Start the 20-minute timer.
So are you using like a grate essentially to whatever they call those things to keep it
Stand
off
them
the
off the
water?
water. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like another pot.
No.
I can't remember what they call those, but
I just cook 3 at a time.
That's totally nice.
So in July,
Yeah,
we'll have a my amateur radio club has a 6-meter net on once a month, and in July we have Brats on High event. So I get to cook for the club, and I think I'll be taking a burner this time, so I can do pressure cooked burgers.
so they're not pre-cooked at all. They're just
No.
straight up hamburger.
They were frozen on Tuesday. I took them out and let them defrost on
How long do
Wednesday.
they take?
20 minutes. What
That
texture
still
did it
seems
come
long.
out as? It was. I mean, you could take them out sooner if you wanted something a little rarer. I like my meat to be cooked. Well, it is cooked even when it's pink, but I like it to be brown all the way through, not pink.
Makes reason since you're British.
So, and that's what texture did it come out as. Well, so they had shrunk. It's like they do if you grill them, but it was really moist. It wasn't fall apart tender. I didn't expect that, like if you put it in a slow cooker, but it was certainly easy to eat.
When do you feel like you would have to kind of cook it more well in order to keep it from falling apart?
Didn't fall apart.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if it was like rare or something, because that seems like it would be so tender that it would just want to separate and do all that stuff.
I don't know. So I kind of had a look. I googled it a little bit, and one place said 12 minutes. So I thought, well, it's not like they're going to dry out.
Yeah.
So I did it a little bit longer.
Definitely not. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. So that's all under pressure and everything.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, the thing with my pressure cooker is, when you put it in, everything's pretty much cold. I guess unless if I were to like heat it up and then put it in, then put the top on, it might speed it up, but you need to wait for it to build the pressure and then it starts the timer.
Right.
So by then it's already cooked a bit.
So I boiled the water in the kettle first, so I didn't have to wait for as long as it boiled on the stove top.
Yeah,
Got that to the point where it was almost starting to boil, and then I put the burgers in. Close the lid. To
You
build
need a
pressure.
cooker crane. Cooker crane delivers boiling water with a flick of a switch.
Yeah, I know. My parents have one. They have a third
I
faucet.
can't get one of those here. Can't get any of those in the US, unfortunately.
They also have all melee stuff as well, Uffe.
Oh, man.
That would make my morning oatmeal routine so much faster. But usually starting the kettle and waiting for that to boil, I only put a little bit of water in to speed it up, but it gives me enough time to feed the cat so that he stops bothering me.
That's what I enjoy about my morning rituals, is everything slow. Turning on the coffee machine,
Yeah.
then I can empty the dishwasher while it's warming. Then I need to get the wood stove going. Only takes half an hour. So there's room for efficiency improvements.
Wow. Yeah, depending on how long I stay in bed staring at my phone, I usually have about anywhere from like 45 to 55 minutes in the morning. And usually the first half an hour is filled with just doing stuff. Which every time I'm always like, wow, why does that take so long? But then I think when I think back to it though, I do enjoy it. I look forward to it in the morning, you know? It's usually the best time for me to do dishes, which is pretty much me putting them in the dishwasher. That takes me like 5 to 10 minutes. But yeah, back to the meat thing and overcooking. Heidi has a thing with that. And I fancy myself a guy that when it comes to the meats, I have the deets, you know? Because anything I touch that's protein rich is gonna come out amazing. I always get tons of accolades about whenever I cook anything. But Heidi always complains. She's the only one that gives me no accolades because she always says it's not cooked enough. And I go, well, if I cooked it anymore, it wouldn't be amazing. It would now just be overcooked meat. But she admits she likes her chicken dry. She likes her burgers well done.
Yeah, I like my burgers well done.
She's good.
Usually.
She's given it a little bit since we've been together, but she doesn't eat my pork tenderloins anymore because she says they're still pink.
Yeah, I don't like pink.
And I go, well, that's where it's supposed to be at. When you look up the USDA temperature ratings, you're supposed to stop it at 145, and then it'll raise up to 155, and then you're good to go. And then you don't have tough pork.
Right, don't fail me this time. Coffee stop.
It's like how most people don't really enjoy pork chops. And it's like, well, because whoever made them for you as a kid always overcooked them.
Oh, I picked up 3 trays of lamb leg steaks yesterday.
Ooh, nice.
Less than half price. They were $5 off, $3 a piece.
Ooh.
2 steaks on each tray. I picked up 2 at first,
Yeah.
and then walked around a bit. I knew there was a third one there, thinking, no, I'm going to go back and get that one as well.
When I was young, I worked at a kind of like a resort hotel restaurant, and I used to cook they had rack of lamb there.
Yeah,
and I'd never tried lamb before. And I was a little apprehensive about it. First time I had that, I was like, so what's the chances I could just have this for my employee dinner every night? Is that allowed? But yeah, apparently you're not allowed to.
Yeah, I think
Unless if someone just happens to get off to the side because it's not a proper cut.
well, I've got 4 burgers left, so I only had 2 yesterday. I cut 6, so I've got 2 today, 2 tomorrow. I think I might be having slow cooker lamb for Sunday lunch.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I used to love the lamb because it would be like, yeah, I'd slice it right down, and it's so nice to slice.
I've got some
And
mint
then-
sauce on.
Then you throw each one of those on the grill, give them a quick little grill on each side, throw them in the oven for hardly any time. Bam! Beautiful.
Yeah. If I get a huge lamb roast, then I usually turn that into a lamb stew in the slow cooker. Brown it in the frying pan. Throw it in the slow cooker. Just let it tenderize. Juice up. Yeah, this has always been the food channel, hasn't it, Owen? Oh, I better start peddling again. Oh. Hey, look at that! I've got a heart rate now.
Oh, nice. Hardly.
Oh, it's going up.
There we go.
Not as much as it went up yesterday, but it's going up.
Yeah, I almost forgot to charge all my stuff yesterday. Luckily, it doesn't take much time. I set everything up and then realized I had not done the thing that I kept reminding myself to do when I was shutting everything down yesterday. Yeah, it looks like no snow for this part of Maine, or hardly any snow in these next two storms. I think this happens every January though. Thinking back, it's usually we're always behind on snow. The southern parts usually get all their snow right now. Or the northern parts, but not the central parts.
Did you see that Boy Cove was outside riding 31st of December in Calgary? It's pretty amazing.
Wow. Yeah, we used to use my father-in-law's condo for the first week of January every year in a place called Island Falls in northern Maine. Although when you look at a map, it's not, there's more northern beyond that, but it's what we consider northern Maine. And it snows there a lot. A huge snowmobiling and ice fishing economy up there during the winter. And so we go up there expecting, all right, cool, we'll just sit in the condo for a week, go swimming, and watch all the snowfall. Every time we'd go up there, there would be storms hitting southern Maine constantly, and they would never make it to northern Maine. So I'm thinking that's just the way it goes this time of year.
I don't know over here, but I think my theory that the moisture is gone from the atmosphere is starting to come true because we're looking into 10 days of dry weather now. So That's gonna be
Yeah.
nice.
I think it's all here. The rivers are still pretty high.
Well, I certainly did my part to add humidity to the atmosphere yesterday for you, because when I let the steam out of the slow cooker, there was a lot of it. The pressure cooker, I should say, not slow cooker.
Yeah, well, today is still raining, so that's probably due to you letting steam out. But tomorrow, it's gonna be dry.
You know, and that Rick, he lets steam off all the time.
Oh yeah. Gotta let it go somewhere.
Not letting steam off his pounding sand. With his swivel hat thing. Swift hat swivels. Oh, I can't remember what it was. Swivel hat. There you go.
And the east part of the country, they've shut some state roads because there's too much water on them. So it's actually safe to drive there, but what people do is that they come with their microcars with front-wheel drive and summer tires, and then they hit the puddles with 80 kilometers an hour, and that doesn't work.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. I mean, unless if you're into that sort of thing, I guess.
I mean, it's cars that weigh 700 kilos, so they just fly into the air. Well, the sign officer said that I could go 80 kilometers an hour, so that's what I did.
So far, we're in kind of one of those really bad pothole seasons for this year, because it's like right now, you know, it's 10 degrees still. So everything is super frozen, and then it's going to stay that way all weekend. But then it's supposed to be in the 40s next week. So then everything's going to thaw out. And if it keeps that up all year, we'll have another spring where it's just, it's off-road everywhere. You can tell, that's when we say the police can tell who's driving drunk, because they're driving through the potholes. Everybody else looks like they're drunk, but they're not.
Yeah, this is why in Belgium it's actually safer if it has snow, because this packed snow will go in the packed potholes. That'll be really smooth, but
Yeah.
if it doesn't snow, it's really dangerous there.
Yeah, it is unfortunate though, because it's like Maine's one of those states that, you know, they're not exactly bringing in tons of money on taxes. But yeah, just given the nature of being right next to the ocean, having the ocean on the east like that, it's like the weather can change quickly. So then you're more prone to potholes. And there's just tons of roads all over the state connecting everything, even if there's, you know, 5 people that live in the town. So to try to keep up with all that with a low budget, it takes a while for them to fix the roads. Which is really nice on a road bike.
Belgium just gave up some 30 years ago, and what they're now doing is that they're trying to do the main roads. So all transit is okay, but the local roads are just dangerous also on the bike. I guess it's national pride in Belgium, because there were able to hold back the last German offensive due to that the roads were so bad in the audience.
Well, and that one bridge.
Congratulations, you're finally free to be the same as you used to be.
Yeah, I think in the end they ran out of fuel. But
So that was in the.
I've been cycling there,
Netherlands.
and yeah, the bridge is in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
It's the Battle of the Bulge in the Ardennes with the Americans, which was quite a tough battle. But I mean, the German strategy was hopeless, but they didn't have much options. That's probably why the Belgians are so good at cyclocross, because it's just basically their commuter trip is a little bit like cyclocross every day. So.
Yeah. Better off taking the trails than the roads. There is something to that. I guess if you're riding all the time, constantly focused on what do I need to avoid now, it does make your bike handling a lot better.
Yes, for sure. They are masters at it.
I riding on rollers.
Yes.
So I remember one group ride. There was 3 of us. Guy at the back hadn't been riding with us for very long, but he knew the hand signals. So we're coming up to a turn, and the guy in front of me pointed to the left. Well, I was to the left, and I saw the pothole, and so it was going to be to the right of me. So I pointed to the right. The guy behind me didn't know which way to go.
Oh.
He went straight through it, buckled his wheel.
Ooh.
Flatted instantly.
Yeah, I've had a few of those where I'm like, uh-oh, that created a problem, but so far it's held up. But yeah, it's same thing around here. It's everything's asphalt, and so it's just constant potholes everywhere, plus just debris on the side of the road.
Cheese?
Debris.
Yeah, cheese.
Debris. Cheese.
Yeah, brie.
This isn't Wisconsin. Oh, brie. Yeah, debris.
In Belgium, they have this groove of deaths. It's a groove in the middle of the road that it acts as a lane separation between opposite traffic and you, and it also leads away water. So the road is leaning into the groove so the water can flow off. So it's very easy to get into this groove. Problem is, if you get into it, you can't get out. So that's really dangerous.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that whole cyclocross thing, I usually choose my routes based on conditions of the road so that I can have as smooth of a path as possible. But maybe I should focus more on those roads I try to avoid and just improve my bike handling.
I don't know. I mean, cyclocross is quite a difficult discipline, but I'm doing gravel. So gravel, I would say, is in between cyclocross and road biking.
Yeah.
And it has improved my bike handling skills a lot on the road. So you learn always to pedal going through a corner, these kind of things, and you don't panic when you come on loose ground and stuff like that. So
yeah.
So it's not bad as a training. And the thing is, you normally stay warmer in the winter. You go on gravel because you have to push a little bit harder, and you'll also be in foresty areas. So it's not so bad as it looks.
I think spending my childhood doing BMX riding,
Yes,
helped
so
me
you already
with-
have it probably.
it saved me a few times in crashes where I didn't turn into a crash because the bike handling all of a sudden kicked in.
Yes.
It's like riding a bike. It comes back when you least expect it.
The thing is, here in the Netherlands, you have a lot of people like me that only ever rode bikes. And then in their everyday life, everything's flat. So when they start descending, that can be really dangerous.
Oh yeah. I can't stand descending. I don't know. I mean, like, I like it because that means you get to go downhill finally.
Is that what
But
descending
it's so
means?
scary.
Thanks for helping me on that.
In one way, I'm like, yes, finally, I can go back downhill again. But then all of a sudden, I'm on someone's wheel and I'm just thinking about all the things that could go wrong. And then
was
you
me
tend to
when I
go
was,
more for the break.
That was me when I was Everesting on Rib Mountain in real life. My first few descents were done in total darkness. It's my bike light, and I'm in a state park. So I don't know what critters were out there. If a deer had come out from the side of the road while I was descending, I would have wiped out big style. So I was doing 40 miles an hour coming down there.
Yeah, that's a fast speed to go down. So then I think of things like, I don't want my bike to go down at that speed. I don't want my kit to get ripped up. Then I think of just cars pulling out. Think of all the things. And then when I'm in a group, I just can't help but think about if someone else messes up. And then all of a sudden, it's one of those wrecks that you see on TV. They do it so well. They just like go sliding, get back up on their bike, and keep
Yeah,
going.
it's
most of the
amazing.
time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I would be like having to lay there for a moment. I'd probably jump up immediately. And then the pain would start hitting.
I need to have another go
But,
at Everesting in real life.
Just to get right back on when the adrenaline's rushing that hard.
So I think Lars Dam, the ex-Dutch pro rider, twice in a race, he put his shoulder back in place and then he got on the bike. That's just so stupid.
That's the kind of competition that would be intimidating. The guy that's willing to do anything to stay in that race.
Yeah, but it was first time he actually got in the ambulance, and so he was sitting on the bench, and then you could see on his face, he said, "Sod it." He pulled his arm, put it back in, got on the bike.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, he didn't win anything, but he got very popular doing that.
Yeah. Your street cred goes up.
I mean, descending is not my favorite discipline, and I used to be not very good at it. Now I'm sort of middle of the road and can do it. I'm not the fastest, but the thing, learning a little bit about techniques and stuff made it more interesting to do, because otherwise it's just boring.
The idea of using the same apex idea that you use in climbing for descending is kind of interesting. going wide. Or, well, you do the opposite, don't you? You go in tight and then go, yeah, that would only make sense. Like in a race car.
mean, you normally try to go wide. I mean, hitting the inner corner.
Yeah.
But from the left side of the road, you're going down. But except if the corner is very tight, it's like a serpentine hairpin. Then you go a little bit further and you make a very sharp turn and you get acceleration from the angle going down, so you get faster velocity going out of the corner.
All right, that's what it was. Yeah.
And that compensates for the further distance and the tight turn. And it's also an extremely safe way to go through a hairpin.
Yeah, if you have traffic coming too.
Yeah, well, pros don't have traffic. It's a technique for pros.
Yeah, that was the thing doing the last time I did a descend on hairpin corners. It was on Cadillac Mountain, and there was no car traffic, but there was still a lot of biking and walking traffic. And I was trying to get a little in close, but you couldn't get too close, just in case.
That a really good mountain.
But yeah, that's all right.
Cadillac of mountains.
Rides like a Cadillac. Yeah, and that was when I had just gotten my Amonda too, so I was a little scared on the descent. I blew everybody away going up, and then I definitely was beaten down by a few people because there was crosswinds going on that day, and it just felt so weird on that Amonda. I was not used to that idea of being thrown all over the road from crosswinds.
Yeah, deep section wheels will do that.
And those aren't even that deep, but
Mine are 55mm, and first time I went out in them and had a crosswind, yeah, it was an eye opener. You get used to it.
Yeah.
Like also
yeah,
trying to
now I
brake.
would definitely do a lot better.
Also trying to use carbon fiber wheels, rim brakes on carbon fiber wheels as well in the wet. That's an eye opener as well.
But they have gotten better.
What brakes?
I can tell you, I don't see
Oh yeah,
any difference between alloy and carbon rim brakes today.
well, I don't know. Once they're wet, then it takes a couple of passages when you pull the brakes on for the friction to burn the water off, and once it's gone, then yeah, so it doesn't take long.
Unless if you need to stop right then. Probably get used to just touching the brakes a little bit when you're right before you'll need them.
Yeah, and sometimes you do that without even thinking. Well, I will admit, I'm a fair weather cyclist. Not that I've been outside at all last year, but
I like it when I'm not being one, but yeah, in my heart I am. I want it to be morning time, sunny, about 60 to 70 degrees, and dry roads. No
That's
potholes.
probably
please.
why you live on the West Coast, I guess.
West Coast. West Coast to you.
West Coast US, they have that kind of weather all year round.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it does get pretty windy there. Because that's the other part I didn't mention. I also like it to have no wind.
Oh, dear.
I do love those perfect summer mornings where it's just like the wind is calm, it's sunny, but not a high sun.
yeah, Uffe, with Rick, the only wind comes from within.
Yes, the back pressure.
After beans.
Well, we're knee deep in sand here, and I'm riding 30 kilometers an hour. That's been
Cyclocross. Yeah, cyclocross would seem very frustrating to have to compete in.
yes. So I think you have to grow up with it or something. Gravel
I
is
do not.
doable.
I don't blame Matthew Vanderpool at all for the things he's done, because it's like, well, why don't you guys go out there and do some cyclocross at a high
Yes.
level like that and see if you don't get annoyed when people get in your way or start taunting you from the crowd.
He only got sympathy from over here. Also, that's what we like to see, a bit of drama and passion, so it's all good.
Oh, the thing cycling needs is people holding signs, standing in the way of the peloton, and Matthew Vanderpool spitting at people.
The spectators are something else. They stand there for 6-7 hours sometimes in the cold drinking beer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm surprised more things don't happen. I mean, when you watch golf tournaments now, it's like, and especially that one that they have in Phoenix or Scottsdale, I think it is, where it's known as a little more of a party atmosphere, and they don't really try to quiet the crowd down as much. And there's just hooting and hollering and insults being thrown at the golfers.
I mean, this is what is great about cycling, especially cyclocross. They don't ride so fast. They go around the same circuit, so they come by 10 times. So you get really close to them. And the downside is that some people don't know how to handle it.
Yeah. I hope whoever he spat on, though, that they collected it and put it in something. Oh, wow. 6 minutes, 8 seconds. I'm 20 seconds behind. Exactly. I will be 26 seconds late finishing my workout. And I will be, so I'll probably be like a minute or so.
Well, you can just do it again afterwards.
I don't have to pull the stream down. At the 32k, I'm going to stop right here. We'll stream down, get us ready for the Friday ebb. We'll be back in a few minutes. Drop it in the chat, Owen. We'll see you again soon. Bye, Finn.
Bye-bye.